JP, we're back. Celtic on the stick to view. My name's Ryan Clifford, and as you can see on the screen, it's JP with me tonight. The two are on, it's a Monday session, but I'm fresh as fuck this Monday. Not I wasn't last Monday, so I'm brand new, mate. Ready to go again. Good performance for the weekend. Big Martindale's teaming during the week, mate. So we're ready to kick off and get all 3 points off at Celtic Park, and the fans are back, mate.
Good evening, mate. As you said, Monday night, man. Some charted wars again for us here. Usually a Tuesday we're on. Couple of Fridays ago, it was a few Fridays in a row, and it's a Monday. Monday club, as we call it. I don't know about you, mate. I know I've got a t-shirt on, but I don't know why, because it's -9 in Glasgow, mate. So it's kind of, I know you get all hood up. You can see a bit of wee bit of ice there in your hood, mate. I don't know if it's you've obviously not had it up often enough, mate. Know what I mean? Either that or somebody slipped it in your hood before I walked by, and as I walked by you, you know. But no, mate. Decent win for us at the weekend. I know the left is all hanging on it, but it was pretty good. Listen, let's be fair. We deserved that win, so it's not like we didn't. It did kind of look for a wee minute, but we were dropping 2 points because Aberdeen I think Aberdeen got a couple of first buses and just stuck them right before their goal. 241 buses parked in that 18-yard box there, you know what I mean? It was like, right, that'll shall not pass. Old Gandalf standing at the top, his wizard stick giving it, thou shall not pass. Well, eventually it did, and it came with a what a fitting end. Callum McGregor, first game back in 2 months. Superb. Then on to, as you said, we Hasbulla brings his trips along the motorway for us Wednesday night. So, as I say, it's going to be interesting to see what that brings. Probably another couple of buses and a big stagecoach lorry probably parked in their 18-yard box. Because let's face it, Ryan, that's what teams need to do against us now. Because they've not got the manpower to deal with us, mate. So they've got to park the bus or buses.
No, I agree, mate. Like I said to Jason all night, I know Jim Goodwin got a bit of stick for the way he played. Rightly so in a way. I know they didn't have any corners, I don't think they had any shots on target. They were quite poor. I think it was 18 or 19% possession, which is not good enough. It doesn't matter who you're playing against at home, you should still be able to try and create a chance. But these teams have got to find a way to beat us, and if that's the way they've got to do to try and get a point at home, then that's the way they've got to do it. As much as it's frustrating for us, and it's frustrating for their fans, but Aberdeen rather they play that nice attack. Well, in my opinion, right, JP, right, you're an Aberdeen fan, right? You don't really see Aberdeen beating Celtic Rangers very often, right? Or even getting a point up very often. I think it's been three draws, I think, in the last 29, 30 games or something, roughly. If that's the right stats, somebody please tell me, but I think roughly I heard about that today. If Aberdeen get a point against us and they play like that, why would you not be happy with it? You've stopped the champions, you've frustrated them, you've made them puff all game, and you've got a point. But just because they lost in the last minute, he's getting hounded. But if that's nothing each, Celtic are probably getting hounded for losing points. Aberdeen are getting praised for good defensive work. But because we've won, they're getting hounded. It was boring to watch for it if I was an Aberdeen fan, which I also know. But if I was, you could probably say, it wouldn't be pleased on the eye because we did hound them. We absolutely pumped them. It was 1-0 going on 10. Just the way we played, some of the chances we missed, again, we've not spoken to you about it on this, mate, so we'll get your thoughts on it as well. Some of the chances you missed, but I don't see the full. I can understand why he's getting criticised, Goodman, but at the same time, I don't, because what else is he meant to do? If he comes out and tries to attack us and he plays two up front or he plays two wingers, gung ho, it's 4-5-0. That's just a simple fact. It's the way Celtic play. If Celtic scored early doors on Saturday, it would have been.
Well, that used to say Sunday.
No, it would have been a morning. It'd have been 3 or 4 probably. because once we get early goals, your tail's up. Because it was going longer and longer without a goal, the chances were getting lesser. You're thinking, like you says, mate, fuck, are we actually going to maybe tap points here? But the way we play it is relentless. We don't stop, and I was even saying, listen, we need to try something different here. It's not happening. We need to try, if it's med urgency, we need to try something. Eventually, we got a good goal at McGregor, which was a fantastic bit of play for him and Forrest as well. But I don't see, I think for me, mate, looking for the outside, obviously I'm an Aberdeen fan, mate, right? So, but I think Goodwin's getting a bit too much aggro at people just because if it's against Celtic. Because Rangers fans are unhappy because they did try and win. Well, obviously, for the looks of it didn't look to try and win. But for his tactics, he wanted probably, like we say, teams maybe they know, they try and park the bus, park the big stagecoach bus at the back, and they try and get a counter attack. They tried it once or twice with, is it Duke or Dunk, the guy up front? Is that his name?
Duke,
that's it. The guy Duke up front.
By the way, he looks not a bad player.
Aye. And then Johnny Hayes came on in second half and tried to put a bit of pace into it. It's not what Aberdeen didn't try, they just couldn't get out. They couldn't get out for their own in 6-year box. They were camped in. But see if a defensive point of view, Aberdeen defended well until the 84th, 85th minute, where it is when we scored. So Aberdeen's tactics worked. So for Jim Goodwin's point of view, it just about worked. So there's a loads of positive. The only positive, obviously, for Aberdeen wasn't the fact that they hit a corner. I know they didn't really score, have a chance to score, but for a team that's probably expecting to lose against us, it's just about the game plan, just about work. So his team carried the game plan through, which he put out. So that shows you well for me, JP, the team are respecting him, the team are playing for him, and they're trying to do what they can to get a point against us. So let's be fair. If they, like I says, mate, if they go gung-ho against us, it's 4 or 5-0 anywhere, Celtic Park or up at Aberdeen. So, don't know your thought of that, mate, but I did think, I understand the criticism, I understand why he got chipped, but if that's nothing each, mate, he's not getting any more near the chip he's getting.
No, definitely. I had a wee chuckle. I don't know if you've seen the video. Mr. Colbeans again was giving it loudly on the Clyde one. Soon as anytime he's in the mid-speech against us, next minute, goal flash. Celtic have scored. And even all the boys in the studio, like Gordon Dale and all that, they were all laughing at him. They were all like that, as if you could tell it was one of the ones. It was, when are you ever going to learn? Just never learns. 3 times this season he's come away with it. Celtic seasons imploding. He was saying that was a disaster for Celtic to be drawing nothing each right at back half a break, and you've got all the momentum, and he said it's absolutely disastrous if Celtic don't manage to convert at least one of these chances that they've had today. He said because they've been terribly lacklustre in front of goal. It was just some of his choice of words and like, his language was just, it was just kind of, it was a bit harsh, I thought. And then all of a sudden, goal flash, and you could tell they just muted you as if to say, "Shut up, you! They've scored." You know what I mean? But no, listen, I took Saturday as a big compliment to his run in terms of his tactics, because first and foremost, you listen to wee Hasbuller's interview there today, and you hear him. He's talking about how good Celtic are and they're the team to beat, etc. Carl McGregor's best midfielder in the country, blah blah blah. He's always speaking the truth. He's always telling what we already know. And I think that a lot of the other managers will know that Celtic have got a lot of firepower line. They've got a lot of answers in that team. And it's very seldom they become unstuck. That's why you've seen it. We've not lost in, 15, 16 months now. We've only lost once, which was the St Mirren game. And they're the only points we've dropped this season so far. We've won 9 league games on the bounce now. So, like I says, mate, it's not a surprise to see teams setting up the way Aberdeen did at the weekend. But Aberdeen only done that because of who they were playing against. with Aberdeen's tactics, mate, they'll not set up that against other teams. They'll not set up that, like, in my opinion, it's horses for courses. You're up against a team who have just off the back of a Champions League campaign, mate, that played very, very well against elite clubs in the Champions League, who can keep the ball really well. They've got players to hurt you. They've got players to come in and really damage you. Guys like Jota, Abada, they just eliminate you now. And if you dive in too quickly, these boys will just embarrass you and potentially ruin your career. And obviously you've got like you've got Kyogo. Now a lot of people are slagging him and saying he's misfiring, he's this and that. He's going through a wee bit of a thing now as a striker. All strikers go through wee stages like this. All it takes is wee Kyogo to buy in a couple of goals, and then before you know it, he's gone 3, 4, 5 games consecutively scoring again. And then people are saying that the other day that, Giakoumakis has got to start Wednesday night. Why? Tell me one performance this season for a big man. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but tell me one performance that stood out to say, right, he needs to get a run of games, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. People are just saying that because wee Kyogo's not scored. See if Kyogo scored 2 or 3 on Saturday night, maybe they'd have batted an eyelid about even bringing Giakoumakis on. And that's my opinion. Nobody would have said one thing about it. I know the two of them are different types of strikers. Giakoumakis is more physical, Kyogo is more technically good and can press and do it at pace. Giakoumakis can press, but I told you before, it's a mid-press. So we can't play full throttle at the final third with him. Because if Maeda and Jota are trying to squeeze a game, he's the one that's kind of slower than them. So he just can't get up to match their runs. Whereas Kyogo's like the fork of the team. Point, you know, at the top. And as much as Kyogo doesn't, he might not be scoring now. See if you watch him in a game, Ryan, he's dragging players away because he makes runs. He comes deeper looking for the ball. He then allows gaps for wee Oxo and that to be playing balls in behind, and he draws people out for things like that to happen. So it's all about playing as a team, Ryan. It's not just about individuality and, you know, what he can do, but Celtic have got a lot of firepower. They've got a lot of danger coming from all different angles. And you've got Matt O'Reilly, Callum McGregor back in the team, who's real attacky, who can hit him off a lampshade sometimes, you know what I mean? And he's got a good shot on him. You've got Abada who gets goals can get goals out of nothing. You've got Jota who can score goals. You've got Haksabanovic who scored 3 goals in his last 4 games. I know he wasn't playing on Saturday, but obviously Ange said he's going to be back for Wednesday, so he adds to the group. So you've got a lot of options there and a lot of firepower, mate. And that's what teams are finding it, especially domestically. They're finding it tough because of the pace Celtic's got through their team. The tempo that Celtic play at every game, whether it be home or away, Celtic try and play the same way all the time. They prepare the same way all the time. So, no, it's hardly surprising to see Aberdeen sitting in and doing what they done at the weekend. I just didn't think they'd have done it for a length of time they'd done it. I thought they'd have tried to at least try and open up a wee bit, especially as the game was going on. And the longer it stayed, nothing each. I said to you guys at the weekend, they're going to grow in belief here. They're going to try and do something, whether they throw in an extra striker or they try and get an extra winger on to go wide and try and... They're going to try something that might have ate into your horns. But eventually it was just a moment of sheer class. That wee back heel with Forrest just totally opens up the box because they're expecting Forrest to run with the ball. He then just does a wee reverse flick with his boot, bang, back heel. McGregor, first time strike, goal. Goalie's not even set. He's away across the goal. So he's not even set. He's caught him half guard as well. So, as I say, mate, but I took it as a compliment. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I took that as a compliment at the weekend. It just shows you how well we're doing under Andy. You know, if that's the way the teams now want to try and set up to stop us. But that's not a way to stop us. Because our wingers will just come in invertedly and drag people in the pitch. And if other fullbacks and other teams, Ryan, are used to coming in the pitch, they'll not like it, mate. They don't want... Defenders don't want to have to chase people with pace. They don't want to have to turn back towards goal and run. So it's always going to catch people out, mate. And eventually, like I say, because of the firepower, Celtic are always going to find that right big chance in a game to kill it. And how many late goals is that now we've scored under Ange now, just alone the last year or so. You'll get a game every so often. We might not just be at it, but a lot of passings there, but the finishing's no. But like the Ralston 98th minute winner, when there was only meant to be 96 minutes played or something, the ref played on an extra 2 minutes. Then the Dundee United game, we Abada, 1-0 at Parkhead. Dundee United game again, we were 2 each, we won 4-2. You've got the St Johnson game up there, Giacomakis. They got an equaliser, we got the Park score. There's quite a few games being racked up now, mate. Well, the Hearts game, the 1-0 game at Celtic Park, that was quite late on when Kyogo scored that last season as well. There is quite a few games, mate, now that's starting to happen. You look at the cup final, Hibs scored, we went right up the park and scored straight after them.
Yep.
Their fans are still celebrating now. You know what I mean? Their fans were still, they were still all partying when we scored that goal. They weren't paying attention. And I think Hibs players just weren't concentrating. So it's no, this isn't just a fluke, mate. It's not just a one-off. It's been happening all through Andy's reign so far. And it'll probably continue to keep happening because teams don't have an answer for that tempo we play at, mate.
A few some of the comments, mate. Similar to what I agree with what you're saying because James, thanks for the comment, mate. Don't think Aberdeen will play like this tomorrow against Officer Rangers. At least they'll have a go. They have score point of goals at home. See,
just as I say, James, there, I know it's different horses for courses, mate. So it's every game's totally different. They done that against us because we're the best, and they knew they couldn't. They don't have the manpower to open up and try and play against us. That's why, in my opinion, that's why they done what they done. The Mora, they're not up against the best team in the league. So, and they're up against a team who, in my opinion, are defensively woeful. So, that'd be a different tactic again. So, what you would do then is you would make it big and physical, in my opinion, to get in about them. Because you've still not got the water boy. He's still partying with Croatia.
Yep.
He's celebrating being a sub. So you've still not got him. You've not got Big Golson. So they're probably still going to have to play, unless they bring a boy King back in, the new Virgil van Dijk. Unless you bring him back in, then you're better than Martin Luther King, man.
Yeah.
As I said, unless you bring him back in, then you're swapping. You're swapping him about. But you could potentially be looking at the same team that played against Hibs back here in terms of Sands and Big Lundstrom.
Considering how like you says with their defence, obviously I watched their game and Ben Davis, again I've spoken to a few of my Rangers pals or Rangers fans and they were saying like if Ben Davis is fit, surely he's fit to play at least 60 minutes because you can see they needed somebody at the back, I think today. On James' comment, I agree with you, JP, as well. My opinion is that Aberdeen, out the two games, they're playing the two best teams in Scotland, obviously as in Rangers, top two teams. We are the best as it stands, and I feel we're the best anyway. Even if we're sitting second, I still think we've got the best squad and the best manager and everything else. If they done that against us, against Rangers, if you're Jim Goodwin, you've got to balance it out, right? Do you go gung-ho against us and maybe get Horst, or do you go gung-ho against Rangers and maybe get something because they're no fire now? I know they beat Hibs, but they were, in my opinion, they were poor. I think Michael Beale knows now he's got a job on his hands because I think he actually said it when he after the match. No, maybe they certain terms, but in a way about words. If they went gung-ho against us, right, they can't end it again against Rangers. It's, like you say, it's two different games. Physically and mentally, Aberdeen can't do that again. Because, see, I think if today, the Rangers might, as much as Rangers aren't as good as us, just because they'd done it a few days ago, to do that again for 90 minutes, Rangers will probably back them down and they might win 2 or 3-0 because mentally and physically, I think they'll just collapse. So if Aberdeen, they start the game, they're biting note, they're at home, you'd imagine again, it might be colder, it might be freezing cold, it could be rain. Aberdeen's it's a horrible place to go and play in terms of the weather. You don't know when it's going to be. So if that's going to affect, we don't know. But I think in terms of, I agree with what James says. I think Aberdeen will have a better go. Not because it's Rangers, just because the fans won't put up with that again. Goodwin won't put up with it again in terms of he knows I've got to try and put a bit more into the game. And I've seen all this about, I think it was, I'll even mention him, I think he put it on his, it was a podcast he does, I should wrote on it, I know, I think it was you and Cameron on that football podcast he does. He says, I think it was at Celtic of only lost once in the last 30 games or something against Aberdeen. Right. That's because Celtic the better team, not because the Rangers are Aberdeen lied into Rangers. No, Celtic the better team, that's why. When was the last time Celtic, I know, it wasn't a struggle the other day, it was just hard. It was a struggle in terms of the way Aberdeen played, but Celtic were brilliant. They were really good in the play. They tried everything. They were quick moving the ball. And the second half, it wasn't as quick because, let's be fair, you're a bit ring rusty. You've just came back for a 5-week break, 4-week break. So, of course, you're going to have a slight bit of rust. But they won't play the same tomorrow. They will try and come out. Do I expect Rangers to win? I probably do. I don't think Aberdeen are as strong as maybe the table shows. So on that matter, for me, I think Aberdeen will win. Another comment as well from John. Remember the quote from the old John staff at Ebby Scoville. The operation was a success, but the patient died. That was the performance on Saturday. I would say so, John. Aberdeen, they tried what they could, but this is what I'm saying. This is because we didn't let Aberdeen play. We were absolutely relentless. It's all right saying Aberdeen didn't have a corner or didn't have possession. That's because we were that good that we didn't let them play. We might have no scored 5 goals, but at the end of the game, we won the game. You've won the game 1-0. You've had all the corners, all the possession, all the everything, which tells you Celtic were very, very dominant. So
I think
that
I think one of the kit men, he was sent him early because of the clean sheets.
I think Joe Hart could wear his goalie tap on Wednesday because he don't even get a sniff on it. I think he could.
Apparently he's out for Wednesday, mate. Apparently he's dealing with frostbite.
Well, it's -9, I think, wasn't it, man?
He's dealing with him and Big Seagrass, the two of them are dealing with frostbite because he had nothing to do.
And obviously on Kyogo, we comment again for James. Kyle needs a scruffer and we'll see basically get a crappy goal and score. I agree, James, but I'm not disagreeing with JP. I do agree that Kyogo is a main man. He's not really doing too much wrong, but I just think for me, I think Jackie Marcus deserves to play now. I think it's his time to get a shot. Kyogo's eyes, like sometimes, listen, I've been there myself. I played up front. When I played with Arsenal 21s, before I got injured, I played 10 games, mate, and didn't score. Didn't score in 10 games. But the manager believed him. He says, why not come? It will come. Just keep going. That's when you start believing yourself. When the manager's got belief in you, that's when you start thinking, right, it's because Kyogo's doing a lot more apart from scoring goals. He's still contributing. He's still been there, making chances. Like I says to Jason.
You can't say he's in a downer because look at the way he celebrates for the fans after the games and stuff. So it's not like I says to Jason
the other night with Jason, see, as long as you're getting in that box, it will eventually come. There's only so many chances you can miss before it doesn't happen because you're in the right place. As long as your wingers or your fullbacks, again, I spoke to Jason about it. I'm still pissed off for the bike Ralston is pushing the ball. See, at that level, you've got to fizz the ball in the fucking box. See if you've got Jackie Marcus, you can maybe hit the ball higher and hang it up, but you've still got to hang it in the pace. He's hitting the fucking childish balls, that him in the box. That's no good to anybody. You're not going to get a goal off in it. You've got to get the ball fizzed in with a bit of pace because if you hit it in with pace, it can deflect, it can fucking hit off anything, it can fucking hit off somebody's nose and go in. It can happen. Anything can happen if you fire it in with pace. So I do believe that for me, I would play Jackie Marcus on Wednesday. I know he didn't do well when he came on against the last game against Livingston, but again, Livingston at Celtic Park, it's a total different kettle of fish we're playing in the Astro. People might say it's not a leveler. For me, as a leveler, when I played on it, I didn't like it. I can remember you played teams like the Scottish and the West, 3 and 4 divisions below you and all that, and they were maybe beating me or drawing you because of where they took you and all that. It's a total different kettle of fish playing in these Astro Parks to Celtic Park. Celtic Park's big, open. It'll be a perfect park. It's not been played on for weeks, so the groundsman will be worked on it. It'll be an absolute bowling green for these players to play in. And like I say, mate, I agree with you. They'll try and maybe park the bus. I think Livingston are maybe a bit better in the counter-attack because that's the way they play. They defend, get to the counter-attack and they try and get a goal.
Get a box, a big nibbly.
Aye. We've seen it happen to us, so he is a wee bit of a threat for him. He's probably not, he probably is the only threat.
There's nothing wee about him, mate. There's not a wee bit of a threat. He's about 10 feet 4.
I know if he starts, Aaron Forrest is a wee bit nippy. He can maybe causes a wee bit of damage if he's on his game. But like I says to Jason, again, people might think I've been too critical or I was maybe too frustrated. But if I was Aberdeen on Saturday, I would have tried to take Ralston on all the time. I thought he looked like a bag of nerves. He was kicking the ball up there, he was missing the ball, and I was like, settle down, just calm down.
Possibly a bit of ring rust with him, mate, because he's not played.
If I was an opposition manager, I thought Ralston was a bit link on Saturday. Maybe I'm talking, maybe too critical, mate. I don't know, but I can only comment on what I've seen. And I thought Ralston, he didn't play ridiculously bad. I just thought if Aberdeen were going to get a chance, maybe doing that side because 2 or 3 times, the boy, is it Duke, get past him. So again, mate, I do think for me anyway, just to change up a wee bit, I would play Jackie Marcus on Wednesday, just to give a bit of change, a bit of freshness. You've still got Kyogo sitting on the bench, so if it's not working at half time, you can put him on. It's no a big deal. I would honestly love him to play a 2 up front. He'll never do it because he would need to change the way we play in terms of formation wise. It would kind of take maybe the 2 wingers out of play in terms of the way they play. They would need to stay as wingers instead of inverted wingers. So I just don't know if that will happen, mate. But that probably, for me, that'd be my kind of dream for they two, to play 2 up front. Maybe do it against Morton, just to try it out. Do you know what I mean? The Scottish Cup. You've not obviously if you get him to lose the Scottish Cup, but if it's not working, you can just change it. You can put Kyogo maybe to 10 or whatever. You can there's all sorts of ways you can fit them in if you need to. But his style of play is the 1 up front, the 2 wide, attacking goes to a 3 up front. Well, it basically goes to a fucking 7 or 8 when you're attacking because the 2 fullbacks are bombing forward. I mean, you've got Roberto Carlos and fucking Cafu. You know what I mean? If it's Ivanovic, you've got Cafu, but I think Cafu, the Croatian Cafu will be off soon. Hopefully, in my opinion, he'll be here for the Rangers game. But
and the Canadian Danny Alves is out the ball.
As I say that, I didn't think he would throw him in, but I know he threw in Ivanovic at left back, so nothing surprising now, mate. But I do agree with you. Kyogo is a main man, mate. But you know my thoughts on Jackie Marcus on his game. I think when he starts, 9 times out of 10, he starts to tell you he scores. So. But again, whoever we play out front, mate, if it is Kyogo or Jackie Marcus, or even if it is Maeda, because he showed the World Cup that he can play up there. So, but I think no matter who you play, mate, you're very confident Celtic Park that you're going to go and win the game. Because Livingston, I don't think will do what Aberdeen done, because at Celtic Park, I think we'll cut them open a bit quicker than we did on Saturday.
Hi, I'm me there, mate. I think it'll be faster pace probably. We're back at home. Fans are back in at Celtic Park, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Probably been a long time waiting for a lot of people. Well, they're a big man there. Surprised he's surprised he's still awake for that, to be honest with you. Jason's normally on his bed by now, you know.
He's on that. What is it, Jason, you do? What is it he does now? Evening, mate, how's things? All good, mate?
He's only fans, is that what you were saying earlier, right? The big man's got all sorts of dodgy cameras set up and he's loving them. He's definitely one to watch him, by the way. But no, what was I saying? Fans back into Celtic Park, mate. Brilliant. It feels as if I've never been away. And like I said, sorry, it feels as if we've not been away. It feels as if we've been away for months. That's what it feels like. It feels as if we've not been in for a long time. Aye.
Yeah, that's it, big man.
You're charging double because it's a festive season, big man, aye. Try to get double money in there to fill your sack. Aye. You thought he's a Santa over the house to try and deflect away from it, know what I mean? His Christmas tree's got a feet floating in every branch.
Big shot.
What's that?
Brilliant, man.
He's got a feet floating in every single branch. That's no decorations, it's feet.
It's no Angie's jumper, it's his OnlyFans for Jason, isn't it?
Aye. You got me visit Jace for dinner. That what you want tonight, boys, toad in the hole.
Hero. No,
I
but
thought we were getting Yorkshire pudding and sausages. A big man's actually gone to toes in the hole.
Aye, Jason, you're right, by the way. Jason, the electrical engineer, want a box. Aye, he's done my dodgy box, mate, so aye.
Jason, the electrical engineer, want a box. Aye.
Aye, he's done my dodgy box, and JP says he's no part of that anymore, so I think
JP's not a part of the dodgy box club, nah.
Aye. So I'm going to game Wednesday, but anybody wants my mine, I've got a dodgy box.
Aye. He'll leave a door on a latch.
Don't get me wrong, I've got a border collie puppy, so he might annoy you, but if that's all right.
You're not allowed your mobile phone in case you can't be trusted.
But one thing I want to mention, actually, you mentioned at the start, mate. I did say to Jason the other night as well about McGregor. We've spoken about him here for since the start of the season, mate, as well. And obviously longer term, when you speak between your pals, you go to the pub, and that's what you talk about. I agree with Martindale, what he says. What Martindale says is what we've said for months, and we've said basically the start of the season. Ever since, for me, Scott Brown's left Celtic, he's not come out his shell. He's just been shown the player he is because he's the main man now. Scott Brown was always roughly, because he was the captain, he was a leader, he was always kind of the main man. And I always thought, even during the 10-in-a-row season, any game against Rangers, if Scott Brown played well, we won the game. That's what I thought, mate. I really did. Even when we weren't performing very well, if you go to Ibrox or Celtic Park and Scott Brown was the main man, Scott Brown turned up, I thought we always won the game because you might not think he used to dictate the play, but I thought he did. He was very good at influencing the game, like McGregor's been recently, taking the game with the stuff to the neck. Aberdeen, he's done it. Other game, he's done it. He's took the ball.
Well, he took over 200 odd passes, and that was more than the whole Aberdeen team.
Aye. I think at Ibrox, I'm sure it was the one for, was it Rogic's goal? He took the ball and done a major run, and Rogic scored for it, didn't it? Was that goal, wasn't it?
Aye, the one at the 2-1 game, aye.
Aye, so that's what I'm saying. It's not like he's just doing this. He's doing this every week. And again, I think it was Chris Boyd that says that. I know he normally talks one pile of shite, but what he really says, he announced after the game. Again, I need to agree with him. These last minute goals on their fluke. McGregor's always consistent. His numbers tell you that. Everything about him. But Martindale says today about him being a top 4, top 6 player. He's basically took the words out of our mouth, mate. We've says it, it's not in the papers. He says it, it's all Martindale's the best thing since sliced bread because he's praising Celtic.
Aye.
He's telling the truth. Celtic we're 9 points ahead. We're still mega goals ahead. I think there's only one goal. I think
we're about 17 goals ahead.
Aye, so from people say that's no a point. In my opinion, it is because Michael Beale said today the Rangers need to win all their games basically to be whatever.
I seen Ian Beale today, he was backtracking on what he says. He's no calling us the other team anymore.
But seeing if we win all their games, right? Even if we did go to just say went to even points, right? We're still miles ahead of goal, so technically it is a point. In my opinion, this is a point because in years gone past, it's been close to goal difference, etc. So if you've got a better goal difference, you have to get that kind of wee hang, like, if we do get beat, as long as, I know that's not in your mindset, but it might be 2 or 3 games to the end of the season when you maybe are struggling, or you're maybe struggling to get out of the line. So I agree with Martindale. I don't agree with him often, but I agree with him what he says about McGregor, because I think he's fantastic. He's relentless in his style of play. He's relentless in leading the team. He's seen the warm-ups, the way he's talking to the players, and he's getting them geared up. And you've seen what obviously behind the scenes, mate, about him and the documentaries and stuff. And listen, I think we're not lucky to have him because he's been here for years. But I'm just really surprised. I know Leicester have been rumoured in the past to get him, but I'm really surprised that nobody's really come in and go, mate. Again, I'm not trying to sell me. I'm just being honest. I'm a fucking Villas fan. The way the market is these days, if anybody was to get in for him, you'd be like, listen, 50, 60 million. But because he's a captain of Celtic and he's with Scotland, he's not going to. We wouldn't get that money from him because it's Celtic Scotland. But if he was playing with West Ham, like they're talking about fucking Declan Rice, 100 million. Come on, man.
Declan Ambrosia Rice.
Aye, a wee bit of fucking, wee bit of caramel fruit, mate. I like caramel. Do you like that? I like caramel. Do you like caramel? I like it. It's nice, isn't it?
Aye, caramel's nice, aye.
It's got to be warm, but nice and oozy and warm. I like it like that, man.
I like it in a Galaxy.
Oh, mate, that chocolate's elite, innit?
Galaxy caramel, aye. Different gravy. I was going to say it's different gravy, but it's not. It's different chocolate.
That's got to be the Horny chocolate, innit? It's got to be, man.
When you're sitting in your cell on a Saturday night, all your mates are in the town getting pissed. You're sitting in your cell and you've got Barry White on listening to yourself.
Jason, I'm sorry, mate. I've just got a vision of you.
I know, I've just got a vision of Jason with about 10 bars of Galaxy caramel in his fridge. He's Marvin Gaye, 14-inch LP on. Let's get it on.
But I owe McGregor,
mate. In front of his mirror.
But McGregor, mate, I know you've spoken about highly as well. I'm glad he's kind of getting a lot of recognition. I think that is because he's a captain now, and he is the main man. For me, he is the spine of the team. Again, I know you know what I look too far ahead, but the game at Ibrox, if he turns up, I think we win anyway. But if he turns up to what we know McGregor can do and what he has done in the past, I think we win that battle in midfield, because for me, the battle midfield in these games is always the biggest thing. You can have all the best players going up front and the best players defensively, but if you lose the midfield battle, I think you lose the game, because that is where carry on the feet. Big man, keep that for your subscribers, mate.
Honestly,
that's letting out your...
Just picture him, he's like a big member of the old Cadbury's caramel advert with the big bunny lying under the tree. That's him, innit? Supposed to eat that caramel, you're not meant to milk it and drip it on your nose.
Brilliant, man. But I mean, McGregor for me is fantastic, and I'm glad he's getting the recognition that he really deserves, because for me, I have seen this as well. Overall, in terms of special talent, I think Jota's technically very special. He's on his game when he didn't play the best during the Saturday there, but when Jota turns up, we've seen it. For me, he's a very special talent, and he's probably one of the most special talent in Scottish football. But all-round footballer, drive, ability, everything, for me, McGregor's a standout.
I think you're sort of doing a guy a disservice in terms of, you mentioned they two. And already, I think the player of the year's a shoe. It's definitely wee Oxo, mate. He's absolutely frightening. And for anybody that's listening in, right, this goes back a few weeks ago. I nicknamed him wee Oxo. The boys asked me why, and I says because he's different gravy. So that's why you get a nickname of wee Oxo now. I've been doing that a leg blunge just like Rangers this season has so far. But no, I'll stick with it because it seems to be a decent name from James, I think you're spot on there, mate. Aye. That's caramel athlete foot. Comes in all different flavours. When you get Easter, he changes the flavour to coconut.
A bounty.
Next year he's looking into getting floaties done so he can do an advent calendar for everybody. So different flavours of chocolate and it tastes like his feet.
Brilliant.
It's called the Twinkle Toes Advent Calendar.
Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes.
Big comment for YouTube there, mate, before we get back to McGregor. What is your favourite ever Christmas song? Back in the day, my favourite song is Last Christmas by Wham. I actually quite like that one myself, to be honest with you.
What is your favourite Christmas song ever?
No, I don't think I've got one. I'm not a big Christmassy person, so...
I'm probably going to be the same as my missus and say the Fairy Tale of New York.
You're definitely good boots light in you for saying that.
No. It's just I love the song, and I've always loved the song. Even I'm trying to remember before I met her, but it's been that long ago. I can't. But no, as I said, it's. I'm just glad that she actually doesn't watch us. If she did, I probably wouldn't be back on these.
I didn't wonder talking about feet packs and that. She's probably
feet packs. She's probably listening. She's upstairs. She's probably going to come down when I'm finished asking me what was that all about.
What are you talking about carrying me like your feet?
Just going to say I was on a Zoom call there with Avon lady looking for Christmas specials for you.
Your wee boys like my dad sells Avon. Brilliant, man.
Aye, your wee boy goes into nursery. Where's your daddy? Big Jace. Big Jason. You picture that? Where's your daddy? My dad has OnlyFans. Brilliant,
man. Quality.
I've had a camera in front of me all my life. It's like fucking we're in the middle of the Truman Show. Yeah. But no, as I say, talk about Callum McGregor. See, it's dead easy to get sidetracked, isn't it? Especially when he starts talking about caramel and all that. No, the McGregor, mate, he's been phenomenal. I seen one of James's comments fell earlier, and he says, is that I was just starting to realise McGregor's I've always realised when David gave him a chance, I could see something in the boy straight away. Well, you could, because I think he scored in his debut, and it was against that Icelandic mob, wasn't it? What was the name of that mob? Icelandic mob?
Reykjavik.
Aye, that's it. He scored in his debut. He scored against him. That was his first game.
Was that Dialer, wasn't it?
Cal Mac, Celtic Caramel. Aye.
That
Dialer.
was Dialer.
That's a good one, Robert.
That
was with Ronnie Delia, mate. It was Delia brought him into the team. Him and Keane Tierney got in the team because of Delia. And as I say, then obviously he kicked on again when Brendan came in. And you seen his performance levels and obviously his goal. I don't know if you remember his goal in the Scottish Cup final. We beat Motherwell. Mm-hmm. Beauty. He scored goals against Rangers in the Cup and the Ibrox as well. As I say, he's always shown to me that he was a top talent. I don't know if you remember, Ryan, it took a long time before he got in the Scotland team.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
For some reason, he was being overlooked. I mean, guys like Kenny McLean were getting a game before him. I'm not being funny, but you're better with John McLean out of Die Hard films, aren't you?
You're better with Kenny Rogers.
Aye, Kenny Rogers. Better with Ken Dodd. And he was a daddy man. But no, as I say, McGregor's always shown to me that he was, he had it in abundance, and he always made a name for himself, because even when you heard that some of the youth coaches talking, that he was one of the names that popped up. So along with Kieran Tierney, he was always one of the ones that kind of, was popping up all the time, and he's always had that kind of fitness level as well that he could run about all day. But no, I'm not surprised the career he's now went on to have, and obviously he's a club captain now. And I'm not shocked at it, because I thought he was a shoe-in to get it when Bruni announced he was retiring and moved on, and a lot of people I think were surprised. But you could see, even when Bruni was there, he was the one that was sort of behind Bruni, sort of still chatting to the players, talking about he was the one that was giving instructions and talking to the player, etc. So no, I'm not surprised, Ryan. I'm not really not surprised with the career he's now going to have, and it'll just get better, because as I said, hopefully we're going into Champions League again next season. men exposure from men experience, and on we go, mate. Another wee comment there, Ryan. Who was your Celtic hero back in the day? My favourite Celtic player back in the day was King Henrik Larsson, and that's from Eugene McGeever.
Mine, growing up, obviously Larsson, for my generation anyway, I'm only 29, so I've just seen a lot of success with Celtic, a lot of very, very good players. I've been spoilt. I've signed a few guys who have not really cut the mark, but I've seen a lot of very, very good players in my time. I was lucky enough to be too young, really, to understand the 90s, and I was just, I was getting older.
Lucky, yeah.
I know. I was going to maybe get to that. Maybe known about football. There's maybe been the Daniels and that were signing, but for me, really, you can't say Larsson because it's everybody's hero. Do you know what I mean? It's one for me anyway. It's a
listen, it's your own opinion. It's your whatever.
Obviously, growing up, it was always Larsson as a striker. But I think take away Larsson, I'll maybe say one for recent times and one for back then. For recent times, it's either going to be Edward or Hooper. I loved Hooper. Anybody who knows me knows I loved Hooper. I thought he was fantastic, European-wise as well. I thought he always done well in Europe. He scored big goals in Europe away at Spartak Moscow and stuff. And for me, he was superb. I still don't think he gets some of the adulation he should have got just because he moved.
The old team across the ladder, didn't
he? Just because he moved to Norwich to maybe try and better his England career. He's admitted in hindsight it's maybe a wrong move, but he's a big enough man to come out and say, and I love my time, I shouldn't have moved, but I did. And listen, on hindsight, maybe got to Norwich in the Premier League might have been a better step because he's going to get exposure playing down south, which is fair enough. But I think playing the Champions League with Celtic and winning trophies with Celtic, playing a better Celtic team, for me, I believe, in my opinion, you've got better exposure playing against the best in the Champions League than you had playing against teams like Bournemouth and stuff like that. Again, I say disrespect to them. They're just not as good as when you're playing in Europe. That's one reason why I was a bit pissed off with Gary Southgate when he spoke about. For me, JP, this is when I thought when Scott Sinclair declined. As soon as Southgate came out and says that I'm not calling you up, you're not in my thinking, he just went like that. For me, he wasn't the same player. And people might say that Scott Sinclair, for me, he's the best impact I've seen for a signing since I've really been a Celtic fan. For the season he came in, it was Premier League quality. It was outstanding. He was on fire, and even the Champions League he was on fire against Man City and stuff. It was brilliant. And then for them to come out and say you're not getting a cap, I thought it was disrespectful. I thought it was a bit uncalled for. He's got to come out and say it, but why not tell him fucking privately? Don't come out in the press and say it, because for me at the time he was brilliant. He was flying. He was on form. He was one of the better wingers in the English national team. I know he wasn't in the squad, but in terms of the pool, he was flying. Somewhat in maybe like England and now with James Maddison, he's called him up and no gave him a cap, but he was relentless before the World Cup. And surely picking players who are playing before the World Cup, you'd be playing them because they've got momentum. Harry Kane wasn't really doing well for the World Cup. He was not really being the Harry Kane, what we all know, we've seen for down south, but yet he played him. But Callum Wilson was a bit on form. I know he was injured, but he was starting to get form. Harley get a sniff. So, I know I've rambled on there, but back to, I would say Hooper or Edward for recent times, but I think back in the day, I'm probably going to say Petrov. For me, Lambert's underrated. But for me, Petrov, a guy gave everything. Like I said, Jason Arnott, I think you as well, mate. Every game he was sweating. He gave everything to the team. His runs defensively and going forward, they helped the team a lot. And yeah, I think he gave Sutton, Hartson and Larsson a few goals as well with the way he played, because of the way he pressed and the way he was relentless in his style of play. So for me, I would say Petrov, mate. What about yourself?
Well, I don't know about that. I'm fucking sitting sweating and you finishing there.
Mate, I'm the Andy Gray of Celtic, mate. I can do what I want.
That's what I was going to say, man. You're Andy Gray and Rich of Keys, mate.
Yeah, man, don't say that, man. I could get a backlash after that here.
I was looking for the keys there to turn the power off. That's fucking
yeah, I might lose my job now with you telling me that now, man.
Nah, definitely no, mate. Definitely no.
You
know you've been on that long there. I don't even know what the question was. I'm only kidding. It's here. Eugene, sorry it took so long for me to get back to you, mate.
I'm away to make tea, right?
I'd love to get back to you sooner. But I forgot to ask Ray Reardon to carry on the sticks here for me, you know what I mean? And so Terry Griffiths of the podcast game try to answer a question. No, definitely. My hero back in the day, Eugene, I'm going to keep this nice and short and simple for you, mate, was Paul McStay. If anybody here was obviously, I don't like young enough to have seen Paul McStay, is that probably a better word? I don't like to say old enough, you don't know who you might offend, but if anybody has been privileged enough to see Paul McStay, then you'll know why I'm saying that. I'm not going to pick the obvious one and say like Henrik Larsson, etc., because he was just exceptional and a one-off. But the Paul McStay epitomises everything Celtic was about, and a guy that showed mega loyalty to a time when the club was in sheer difficulty, on and off the pitch, and he stayed with the club. He was a one-club man, and he stayed with the club, and you've got to tip your hat to that, because he had a lot of options to move on. At the time, back in the 90s, I think he had a 10 million offer to go to Juventus, and he knocked it back. And 10 million away back then would be like 100 million nowadays.
That's true, I don't know that.
Oh, no, I had a 10 million offer to go to Juventus.
But for Celtic? Did Celtic accept the bid then?
No. Celtic left it to him. Right, way back then, it was you went to the player and he says, right, what do you want to do? And he just says no.
Because these days they just accept the offer, didn't
no, they? I think they go to the player. Way back then, you used to go to the player. The way back then, you didn't have these big consortiums you've got now. It was like one or two guys you went to, and they says, well, you'll need to speak to Paul. And I was only a wee boy, but I remember all that being in the papers, etc. And at the time. And then, obviously, as I said to you all night, I remember it being on teletext as well. Mm-hmm. And like I says, it was done to Paul, and Paul knocked it back. I think he hummed and hawed for a wee while about a new contract, and then he eventually put pen to paper on a new deal. But no, I'll keep that nice and short and sweet, because obviously I know time's marching on. But just before, obviously, we finish up, guys, anybody that's listening in, if you would have watched the show on Friday, you would know that there's a new show with ourselves. It's myself that's hosting a new show. It's called the Unrestricted Goal Rush. So it's a new show for the fans, basically, it's just basically a wee bit of interest to predict results, basically, in the Scottish Premier League. So what we're going to start doing as we go, if we start getting genuine interest and it's regular, then we're going to start running wee incentives, etc., and kind of small competitions through it. In terms of, if you predict, I don't know, four correct results score-wise, you'll win a wee prize. But what we need for you guys is we need you to contact the page on any part of social media. So that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We're on every one of the platforms, and I had my Twitter name and Ryan's Twitter name up on this earlier. I'll just put it back up for a split second for you just now. Even if you want to contact us individually, fantastic, and we can let you know a wee bit more about it. The reason for it is so that we've got your details, because on this, when you comment in on the show, it just tells us what platform in a brief bit. It just gives us your username and what platform you're commenting in from. So if you're genuinely interested and want to get involved with the Goal Rush predictions table, obviously week 1 is now past. And if you go onto our Twitter, have you got it as a pinned post, Ryan?
I will do it, mate. It's going to be pinned, aye.
Okay, it'll be pinned. So if you look on the unrestricted view, so you just type in Celtic unrestricted view, and you can message your page privately to give us a bit more about your details. So
James says only YouTube. James, see if you are involved in the Friday show, you want to get involved. If you want to just type in your predictions on this, and then we can write them down. If that's going to be, and then because every show will be live that JP hosts. It might be only me one Friday or Jason, Barry, other guys. So if you've not got any other platform, and this is the only way you can get a hold of us, and we go live, either if it's the Thursday show or Wednesday show, whenever. If you want to get your predictions in early, just write them in the comments, and me and JP will have maybe a pen and paper handy one night, and we'll write them down.
Or you can go to our page on YouTube,
yeah,
James.
Yeah.
And then I think you can add a comment even after we've recorded. So you can message us on YouTube as well. You just need to go into one of our videos, and myself and Ryan, obviously the admins of it. So we'll see that comment, and we'll like I says, like Ryan says there, we'll take a note of your predictions. But obviously your predictions don't really need to be in until before kick-off time. But what I will say, guys, is if you predict something and it's in and we've logged it, you can't change it, okay? Because it just involves a lot of editing and a lot of faffing about for us as well. So once your predictions is in, give it a good think, and obviously a good think over. No bother, James, okay? And if you give it you think about it, you look at the fixtures and you predict. So basically just now, the week before we're going to run the incentive week, so obviously you'll get a prize. We'll tell you before that week's coming up, so that then you can then put an ad in your scores. So most weeks it will just be you predicting who you want to win or draw or etc. The week of the incentives, we'll always notify you the week before. And then obviously then that week, same again as what we've just said to James, for everybody else, you can message actually in YouTube as well. So you can actually pick on one of the videos and just write in a comment. Obviously, preferably the recent video. That's fine, Shelley. We're on Facebook as well. So all you need to do is look for the page on Facebook, and just you can message us privately.
And also myself and JP,
myself and Ryan are on Facebook as well. Yeah, as I say, it's pretty straightforward. And all you need to do then is, if you want your name added in the wee league table, because like I say, week 1 is now past, so the league table's already up and running. I genuinely thought, Ryan, that we would have got a bit more interest like from Friday, but obviously it wasn't to be. But just in case some people don't know, what it is they need to do. Also, guys, if a lot of some of you haven't subscribed to the page, we'd appreciate it if you can. And if you don't know how to do that, just set up a wee email address and a password that you, as an individual, would remember, and it'll allow you to do that for the YouTube. And all you need to do is click where it says subscribe on our page. It helps us, it helps the content. It's free to do so as well, so it doesn't charge you any money. We don't charge at all for any content to be put out. And obviously, as we go, guys, we've got a lot more stuff coming up, some guests, etc. So obviously, it's a good way to find out what's going on as well. But Shelley, yeah, just set us up on Facebook. Just send us a wee message, and we'll get you sorted on that one. Sorry, Ryan. I thought I would add that in there, mate, because I felt like maybe some folk maybe didn't understand how to go about doing what we were talking about on Friday, or if I'd maybe not covered anything on Friday, then I thought I would add that again. I know I've maybe stole your thunder. This isn't Friday.
No. That's why you're the gaffer, mate.
What's he doing that the Monday Club for, do you know what I mean?
No, but like James says, obviously we don't know how people get a hold of us, if it's YouTube, if it's through the page, if it's through a Celtic supporters page, or if it's through Twitter. We don't know personally, so if you can't get a hold of the page, like JP says, if you want to add me and JP Instagram, or follow us on Twitter, or follow us on Facebook, whatever platform you've got, and you've got any information you want to ask about, then we'll speak to you. If you've only got YouTube, obviously, if you type the podcast in, it will come up. But if you've got the YouTube and then subscribe to the channel, everything we post will come up. So obviously, I don't know how it works, because I don't really subscribe myself to stuff on YouTube. I don't really go on YouTube myself, so I don't really know how it pops up on your phone. But I know the people that obviously watch it, as soon as we go live, it notifies you. So if you subscribe to the channel, click your wee bell, and it'll pop up when we go live. So when it is a Friday show, you'll see we're live. So every Friday will be the show for the games for the weekends that JP will be hosting the goalers. So any show on a Friday, that will be the show. So anyone before that, we might mention it, but the Friday show, even if it's a guest on, if it's not a guest, if it's just us talking normally, it will be JP hosting the Goal Rush. So that is really the Friday show. So when we go live, if you only got YouTube, that's when it'll be. If you want to comment on this, James, if you're similar to James, you'll get YouTube, because you see it on this. But even any video that say, even James for last Friday, if you want to comment for last Friday or this week predictions, then write that and we'll see that. So that's really all that as well. But like JP says, we're on all platforms. You can listen in audio through Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and obviously me and JP's on Twitter and is that as well, so you can get us there as well. So anything you need from us, if it's any questions in terms of Goal Rush or anything you want to talk about, again, anybody who watches regularly knows we're unrestricted, so to a certain degree we'll talk about what we need to talk about. If it's referees, VR, anything about Celtic, if it's anything that the Rangers want to talk about, anything to that you want to mention, to get out there if we can, then we'll obviously speak about it. Hi Frank, thanks for joining us, mate. I really do feel that the best way probably would be the platforms, but if you've only got YouTube, then that's absolutely fine. Like JP says, just right in the wee video, mate. So I agree, JP, that's maybe the best thing to do if you've only got YouTube.
Aye, definitely, mate.
Top ending.
Rhino sort that.
I'll sort that. That might be the private one. There's a public one. That you can just join. You just like. I'll go and have a wee look at that, share, and I'll see what I can do. If it's not, if I can't find you, just type in Celtic Unrestricted View, and there's a public one. The private group, I don't think I really use that. That was just to set up when we first started the show, but there's a public one.
Just to help you out, Shirley, the badge you're looking for is that there. So I think it's more or less the logo up above me and Ryan as well, like that. That's the logo there that you're looking for on a
I think the public one's got 1,000 followers or something, roughly. I think that's off the top of my mind. So that's probably the best to get hold of. I haven't been there any of these lives or.
Ryan's got some security set up in it, Shelley. He's got it set up there in the White House, by the way. I'm not kidding.
I've got the same setup with Big Jason's only fans.
Well, I know it says pending, pal, but you're not even in the foyer back yet. Know what I mean? You're still actually outside in the freezing cold, isn't it?
Anything else tonight, JP, before we end the show?
No, just obviously, I'm looking forward to Wednesday, Ryan. I'm looking forward to getting back to Celtic Park, and obviously, like I say, Steve, mate, I just want us to. I had to put the foot to the pedal, and let's try and get this league wrapped up as quick as, and put some serious pressure on the mob across the water, because, as I say, it's something I think we need to do now that we're not in Europe. We've now got that distraction, and like I say, we've got 2 cups to go for as well, Ryan. So. Who knows what can happen, mate? Maybe yourself, mate. I'm
the same, mate. I think every game now, especially the Christmas period, we can't drop any points. I don't think we will. I hope no. I think, like I says, mate, I know you don't want to think about the game at Ibrox too much because you've still got games beforehand.
Yeah.
Because I think Easter Road might be a tough game, because I think in McGeady back as well, it gives us something to think about, because I think in McGeady's still a top talent. I know he's 36 now or something, 37, but against Rangers, if he was on a bit earlier and they gave him a ball back there, something could have happened, because you've seen that touches on the what's it called that again? Fuck's sake, I'm losing my mind here.
Stephen Davis.
The touchline, sorry, aye, with Stephen Davis. The ball came in and he just trapped it and he was away. It was frightening to watch, man. And again, I was watching that as a neutral, and I was like, that's phenomenal. A guy 36-year-old. Oh, I meant to say that actually. Keith Jackson, an article, I don't know if you've seen it this morning, JP. I meant to post in the chat earlier. Keith Jackson says that Rangers need to play. Drum roll for this, by the way, because he's never called a Celtic, for my opinion, for my eyes, watching any article, he's never called a Celtic player this before. Even your Scott Browns or your Van Dijks or whatever, right? A Rolls Royce for a midfielder, and Steve Davis, he's got to play him more. A Rolls Royce for Steve Davis. Steve Davis, maybe a Rolls Royce at 25. No.
He's a Rolls Royce sitting at the back of a quick fit garage, isn't he?
But he's paid to talk utter garbage. He's hardly kicked a ball all season, but yet he's a Rolls Royce. See if Steve Davis played against us at Celtic Park, he would fucking run the legs off him. Steve Davis was, listen, I'm a big admirer of Steve Davis and what he's done in his career. He was a phenomenal player for what he's played against. For Ireland, again, I know it's not Ireland, that's no anything. I'm a Scottish fan, so I don't care. But for the caps he had for him, he's always been a good player for Rangers in the past. Under Walter Smith, he was really good for them. He's done some amazing things in his career. He was very, very top draw. He's finished now. He's finished. Same as Al McGregor. Al McGregor, for me, was a world-class goalkeeper. He's finished. He'll still make the odd very good saves like we've seen at Celtic Park. But now he's making howlers. I just couldn't believe it. I thought I mentioned that halfway through the pod, didn't he? I don't know how that's not come up on Twitter. People, how Rolls Royce a midfielder. You're better with cigars sitting in a Rolls Royce than my fucking playing football.
Like I said, Steve, mate, they signed Ryan Davis and Ben Davis for me. They need Steve Davis because they need fucking Snickers.
Fucking Bill and Ben, the fucking flobbing nobbins.
Aye. No.
Honestly, I couldn't listen. I've got big admiration for Davis because he has been a fantastic player. But to say a Rolls Royce, man, Steve Davis isn't a guy that's going to go back and forth. They've not got a Rolls Royce in midfield. They've all got defensive mids. They've not got.
Aye. Basically, what you're saying is it's like Steve Davis must be running about with a diabetes on his arm or something like that. It says Rolls Royce on it, and that's how he's saying that because I don't know, mate. That's highly medicated stuff, that and all that.
I don't know why I didn't mention that in the pod. I don't know why I just left it new. But
neither did I, mate. Well, see, to be honest with you, I'd have kept like myself and all. That's just. That's
nothing against Steve Davis. That's just shite journalism.
Aye.
He's
a Rolls Royce midfielder.
And I actually think Keith Jackson's all right. I don't even know if Keith watched this. I think Keith's all right in some of the stuff he says, but I think he's had a bit of boo-boo in that because he's not
definitely not coming on now.
He's not coming on now. Nah, I don't understand that. But aye, mate, sorry. I just thought to mention that because, as I said, I'm restricted and you need to say what you need to say. And I think that was a lot.
Fine, mate.
I think that was a lot of a warning for Keith. Sorry, Keith, but I didn't think that was a decent article you put, mate. But I am the same as you, mate. Try and get to Ibrox unscathed. Stay 9 points or hopefully more, and you win that, mate. And I've said for day one in terms of recently, if we go to Ibrox and we win, and we go 12 points, league's finished. I've said it on this, I'll take flat for it if Rangers come back and win the league. That's where you go. Right, I made an arse in my comments.
You've done that couple of things, haven't you, with Greg Taylor and that and all.
But listen, that's why we're here to get shot down. If people think I talk shite, tell me, because listen.
As you say the last time, you're better with Dennis Taylor.
Aye. That was a while back now, wasn't it?
Yeah, you drink a water, mate. You're talking about on that humble pie there.
I need some caramel, mate. No, but
get back Jace to send it over.
No, but I do believe if we go to Ibrox, mate, and we're 9 points, and even if we draw, mate, still staying 9, I think the league's finished. I just can't see us losing losing 3 games and then no winning any more. In terms of keeping a run going, because I think we'll go a run. I don't think they will. I think they'll drop a point or two. So, but mate, I'm the same as you. Get this Christmas period unscathed. Try and get some more goals on the board as well, because that goals breed confidence. And one thing I've not spoken about, but I don't want to keep it too long, mate. We'll talk about it obviously after the game on Wednesday. If we keep a clean sheet, which we've not done in a while. We're conceding a few goals, so clean sheet breeds confidence in the defence and Joe Hart. And just looking forward to the game on Wednesday, mate, back at Celtic Park, and hopefully get a good performance, mate, 3 points. But anything else, mate? Last thought to you tonight?
No, thanks very much, mate. You know what I mean? That's because you done rambling now. You done doing your Andy Gray.
I just want my cup of tea, mate. I've been waiting for the last hour, mate, but I'll just need to wait.
Oh, sorry to keep you.
Look, I was meant to go make a cup of tea. Still waiting for this, man.
Right, so.
Mate, so 2 sugars or what?
You're that bad that you've not even got a whistle off the kettle yet. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a recce bills, mate. I need to wait till I'm actually making tea. You know what I mean?
Aye. How do you boil the kettle? Do you just rub your hands fast along the side it, dead quick? Aye.
I got a basin of water and blowing it. Hurry up. Hot air.
Aye. Just get a big straw and do that we used to do in your chocolate milk and just blow bubbles in it.
I got a towel in my head and blow into it. You know what I mean? Hurry up.
A big bottle of Yazoo milk before you start school. But, no, mate, I think we've covered pretty much what I wanted to cover. Right now I'm going to cover my legs due to it being -9 in Glasgow, right enough. But out with that, mate. No, it's been a pleasure speaking to you again. And again, everybody, thanks very much for all your comments and taking part tonight. Hope to hear from some of you at least in terms of letting us know about the league table, etc. And aye, hail, mate.
Hail, mate, and take care, mate. And
if I don't get a chance to speak to everybody, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and all your families as well. Hope you have a good one. And
please, if anybody likes OnlyFans, subscribe to Big Jason Ages Sackfield.
Yes, and give Big Jason a shout. Hit him up he's on all platforms as well. And he's got about 19 cameras and he's loving them. And
I've the OnlyFans, but I like red nails. If anybody's give me some red nails, I like some red nails, you know what I mean?
Aye.
But just, is it past the watershed? You'd be allowed to say that?
Oh, aye. 9:25, mate. 9:25. You're the only guy in the East End of Glasgow that still watches Eurotrash.
Oh. What else was on back in the day, man? Fucking loads of mad funny shit, weren't there?
Aye.
Bye, we'll keep that for now. We'll keep that for the OnlyFans podcast. Bye, mate. I'll let you go, mate.
It was a wild programme at Eurotrash, wasn't it?
Oh, wild, mate. A lot of
things. Here's a little person poking a horse in the arse with a shopping trolley.
Right on that. That's the end of that. That's the full thing, knackered.
Aye. And then the next week it'll be.
Next week it'll be. It's $6.99 this week. Next week is $10.99.
Aye. And then the next week it's $18.99.
I'd have a whipped cream for 50p extra.
Definitely, mate. Aye.
But I'll let you go, mate. Good chatting to you again, mate. That's me get my dopamine laughing now for the next few days. So go make my tea, mate, and you get your sexy shots on, mate, and I'll catch you later. Hail, take care.
Hail, mate. See you later, mate. Bye-bye.